Hi, my friends. It's Shay Marvell, Coach Shay Marvell. Welcome to Let's Talk. It feels so good to be back. This is our fourth season, and we're going to mix things up a little bit, do some live events, have live guests as well as recorded guests and interviews. I'm going to share more meditations and coaching. So much has changed since we started our first podcast in 2020, October 2020. At that point, it was still like we were deep in the pandemic, and we all thought it was going to be over soon. There was no concept that the world was actually never going to go back to what it was. And I don't know about you, but I think we're like 2024 is the new normal, and we can't quite grasp the new normal because it's expensive. And there's so much information, there's so much content, but the curation of it and the polarization of ideas and people just make it so hard to know who's telling the truth and what's true and what's really relevant to your own life. And so you might say, well then, why keep going? Because actually what I discovered was, for me and for the people that I love and care about and build community with and in, podcasting is a really amazing vehicle. And it's an amazing vehicle to talk, to listen, to care, to nourish, to be engaged in a world where there's so many things that are not real, right? And here's the challenge with things that are not real. There's people that aren't real, avatars that are not real, universes online that are not real, yet you make real money with those things. The other side of it is that the way we heal each other, the way we love each other, the way we understand who's true and what's true, that's real. And that's about authenticity and being in each other's presence and learning to sense one another and learning to propagate human. I'm into propagating human beings and human experience. And I think, I don't have any big conclusions at this moment about what we are and what we aren't. I think we are in a process of becoming. And we know that there's more change coming in the next 4 years than in the last 100 years. And our heads are still spinning from the last 4 years. So I think when we hear that statement, it's either you go into denial or you go into fear mode or you go into isolation, or you're like, I can't comprehend another change, right? And you know that, well, she's more than a podcaster. I mean that she does more than podcasting. Mel Robbins, she's a motivational speaker, and I have so much love and appreciation for her. I'd love to be able to interview her. I find her really curious. But she has this, she did this podcast on accountability, on personal accountability. And, one of the things that she said was, no one's coming. No one's coming to help you. No one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to find the strength to save yourself. And I think the other part of that is that everyone is struggling. And I'm not talking about the billionaires. I think they're struggling in their own way. I'm talking about everyday people. I think people can't save anyone. because they are busy trying to save themselves. And I think that this is a moment to be radically honest with yourself about who you are, what you care about with yourself, so that you can be radically responsible and accountable for yourself, for your light, for your emotions, for your mental health, for your psychology, for your strength. And when you have that as a foundation, you can be of support and help to others. But if you don't have that, if you don't have accountability for yourself, if you don't know what your light is, or that you even have light, it is very hard in this new world to save anyone, much less yourself. And there's an idea a thought I want to share with you, and I want to know what you think. I want you to think about it, as I think it's a game-changing thought. Rather than think you're not good enough, or that you don't know enough, or you're not smart enough, or you don't have enough information, or you don't have enough education, or just generally you're not enough, what if you thought, my greatest work is to actually understand how enough I am. And my greatest work is actually to bring forward, to dig deep, right? To become an archaeologist of yourself and find your tools, find your skills, and then apply them to the world around you, the world, the ecosystem that you exist in. You see, because this is the truth. I'm going to tell it to you. I'm going to break it down for you if you haven't heard it, and if you heard it and you don't believe it. That the birthright of every human being, the birthright of every human being, is that they are born with capability, abilities, gifts. And these capabilities and these abilities and these gifts, they are a blessing to the world. And I know for some of you are like, oh, I don't think so. And, you're so cynical. You're like, no, I don't think so. I don't think I'm a blessing. I want you to try it out. I want you to try this thought out. I am a blessing. I am a blessing. My tools and my way of thinking and my way of telling a story and my way of seeing the world contributes to this world. You see, I have this belief that each of us that is born is a light and a seed. And when you water that seed and you nourish that seed, because of the light, you grow and you expand. And then you expand what can happen in this world. You expand and gift to the world space, new things, new ideas, notions, new tools. You see, right now we've empowered people who understand that they have gifts, but they don't necessarily want to share them with everyone. And right now, the world is being run by the most greedy, the most paranoid, the most selfish, maybe the most hurt, maybe the most stuck, maybe the most soulless. I don't know, it's a combination. But there's more of us than of them. But the key is understanding that you're a light, that planted in you are capabilities and abilities that are meant to be nourished and watered. And the water doesn't come from the external world. It's internal. And when you start to focus on your mind and strengthening your body and understanding that you are a gift, and you nourish that, and you look after that, and then you apply yourself to the community, to the family, to the friend, to the child, to the dog, to the plants, in your life, in your village, in your community, you change the world. And even if you change the world for one person, that's one less hurt person in the world. So I want us to explore that. I want us to explore that together. And I want us to raise the vibration born out of our capabilities, born out of our light, born out of the seeds that exist in us. You see, the world is being run by a lot of hurt and scared people. But we don't have to be. So let's talk about it. Let's grow, let's expand, let's breathe. Breathe, 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 breathe. Hold the breath. And then take it out in the world. Yes.